Hello, welcome back to episode 5 of the Intern's Oddities from around the world. And first things first, as you can probably tell, my voice is a little messed up today. Not the best voice, not the most attractive. I apologize for that. Never had a very good voice, but it's even worse now. But sometimes it can be nice to have a voice like this. So, anyways, what I thought I would do is go ahead and get started with this. And so today we're going to be talking about luck and its origins, like where luck came from, how it originated, and whether or not it's a scientific thing or just something in our heads. And I apologize ahead of time. I might be sniffling a lot today, and as I said a moment ago, my voice is not all there, so I apologize for that. But hang on, I will try to be as professional as I can. So today we're going to be talking about luck. Now, first off, luck is not a mystical force, and improbable events are almost guaranteed to happen if given enough opportunities. In the year 2000, NFL drafted in the 2000 NFL draft. Sorry, like I said. Anyways, in the 2000 NFL draft, the 199th overall pick didn't look much like a football player. His 40-year dash was the slowest amongst all the others, his vertical leap was the third worst, and he had a dad bod. So people weren't very hopeful for his chances. And then over the years of this person's career, they had somehow this one quarterback with a dad bod who they say looked like a tax accountant somehow made 456 touchdowns and won 208 games. Now, who was this? Plot twist. This was Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. Maybe he cheated for all that, but I'm not trying to go too far on that. Just make a little joke. Not trying to upset anybody. Just wanted. But everyone who originally had better stats didn't do as well as Tom Brady did over the years. Why is that? I just told you. Anyway, it's apparently called regression to the mean. What this states is that exceptional performance, good or bad, is always going to be reflective of the overall ability. Now, what this means is that outcomes in tests or sports are often affected by chance events which nobody can predict, such as getting a bad sleep or knowing all the answers to a test. Like if someone gave me a test of Metal Gear Solid, I would probably ace that test. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at taking a test. It just meant I was good at taking that particular test. Or maybe someone is dealing with a mental issue and maybe they lost someone recently. Maybe they're trying to overcome their grief, so they can't think as well or whatever. There's many unknown factors that could contribute to how someone takes a test or performs in a particular situation, regardless of their internal ability to do so on a normal day. So basically, the idea is that people who do exceptionally poorly tend to do better next time, and vice versa. People who do exceptionally well the first time tend to do poorly the next time. I can provide you a personal example. When I was going out and trying to pass the knowledge test to get my driver's permit, the first time I went, I missed like maybe 4, 5 questions, and I failed. The second time, I only missed one question, and I passed. So, everyone has an average level of ability, which is affected by chance events, and after any exceptional performance, probability tells us that they're more likely to regress towards the average. So basically, once you do good, you're more likely to become average. Now, luck is where chance combines with conscious effort, making us draw conclusions that don't exist, but how we respond to these theoretical random chance events can change our lives, allowing us to essentially make our own luck. For example, if you're walking along the road and a boulder almost falls on you, you have to make a decision. Are you lucky that the boulder fell near you rather than on you? Or maybe you're lucky that the boulder didn't hit you. Which one is it? Are you unlucky that the boulder fell near you in the first place? Or maybe you're lucky that it didn't hit you. There's a theory that suggests luck is simply a state of mind. A psychologist named Richard Wiseman has studied hundreds of people who call themselves lucky or unlucky, and his work uncovered four basic principles of luck. So the first one is to maximize your chance opportunities. Lucky people tend to notice and act on more chance opportunities by being generally relaxed and open to new experiences. Number two, listen to lucky hunches. Lucky people make decisions based on gut feelings and always tend to. Three, look on the bright side. Lucky people's attitudes transform bad luck into good luck, as in the example with the boulder. You aren't unlucky that the boulder fell in the first place, you were lucky that it didn't hit you. Lucky people always expect something good to happen. That's the fourth one. If you go to a palm reader, they may tell you that you're going to meet someone special in your life, so you start going out with a smile on your face, being more social, which in turn leads you to meeting new people, and one of these new people is especially nice to you. So, while the fortune teller or palm reader may not have directly predicted the future, they have helped you create this future through the age-old self-fulfilling prophecy we have come to know so well as good luck. Now, we're going to shift a little bit. So, first thing I want to do is come over here and I have acquired some pictures. So let me make sure I pull up the ones I want to pull up first. Okay, let's pull this one up first. Then we got to get over here so we can share it to the screen. So where did that go? There it is. All right, now what we're seeing on the screen right here are what are known as the 7 gods of luck in Japan. And they're typically of Shinto, Buddhist, and Hindu origin, and each of these 7 gods has their own realm of influence. We have Binzaiten is the goddess of love, music, and happiness. The goddess of everything that flows is the Hindu river goddess Saraswati. Bishamonten is a warrior, protector of the righteous, and a figure of authority. Hote Osho is the god of generosity and large families and is often depicted as a fun-loving and laughing overweight monk of Buddhism. Fukurokuju is the god of long life and wisdom, often shown with a large walking stick and accompanied by a stork. Jorojin is also a god of long life and as such carries a long staff with him wherever he goes and is often shown with a stag or tortoise, which are symbols of longevity. Daikoku is the Shinto god of wealth and trade, usually shown on 2 stacks of rice holding a hammer. Ebisu is the Shinto god of work and is often depicted carrying a large fish. The 7 gods can often travel together on their treasure ship Takarakbune. All 7 gods are extremely popular in Japan and may be called upon for help when needed, especially so during the new year. So first, we did the origins of luck, like where it originated, and now we're going to get a little bit deeper into these 7 gods right here. And I got some nice pictures to show everybody. So as we just explained, I just went over a little summary of these 7 gods, and now I'm going to show you some pictures and, talk about them a little bit deeper. So this one right here in the middle, that is Fukurokuju. This one over here, the little monk dude, that is the one known as Hote Osho, and he is the god of generosity and large families. So if you're nice to people or, you have a large family and you're doing very prosperous, then you may be worshiping Hote Osho, sorry. And then this one over here with the guitar, right here in the corner over here, that I believe is Benzaiten, the goddess of love, music, and happiness. So if you especially enjoy music and, you're happy all the time and you like falling in love, that kind of stuff, then you might worship Benzaiten. Next, we'll go over Bishamonten. Now, this one, I believe, is right here, is Bishamonten. And he is a warrior, protector of the righteous and a figure of authority. So he's kind of like the warrior god. Because I think I've talked about it a few times, how kind of like in Japan, Shintoism especially is like a very large thing, and they believe that everything has a spirit essentially. Now, Fukurokuju is a god of long life and wisdom with a walking stick and long stork. And that looks like it might be some sort of flower in Hoto Oshe's hand. And then these last two right here, this one on the end, I believe is Daikoku, which is, as I said a moment ago, the Shinto god of wealth and trade. And he's got his little hammer right there. And then Ebisu is the god of work and is often depicted as carrying a big fish. And this is Ebisu right here. There's his little fish. Oh, look at the design on that. It looks like the little pancake fish that they have in Japan. If you'll be patient with me, I can actually show you a picture of that in just a few seconds. Yeah, here's some. Let me make sure that I get one that is not copywritten so that we don't get in trouble. But I could show you this. Yes, let me switch this around real quick. I think I can change my sharing. So let me just download a picture real quick. It'll take me just a few seconds, and then I can show you this. Because these are actually pretty cool. If you've never seen one, they have these pancakes in Japan that are shaped just like fish, and I think they're really, really awesome. So I just downloaded the image, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you real quick. Here, look at this. Let me see if you can see this. Wow, really? It pulled it up under a different tab, so it didn't count. All right, let me just go through here. Okay, here it is. Now, I think you should be able to see that. Yeah, there you go. So this is what I was thinking of. It looks like a little pancake, but it's a fish. It's a fish pancake. I've always really enjoyed, Japanese culture and stuff. So let's go through a few more pictures while we're here, okay? I'm going to go back to the beginning. All right, so this one, I believe, is supposed to be a representation of, let me see, Saraswati. I think this is supposed to be Saraswati, the the Hindu river goddess of everything that flows. Okay, let's see what else we got. I'll come back to this one in a minute. Don't worry, I'll explain that later. This one, I got a couple of random pictures to show some like bad luck, because some people say that it's bad luck to break a mirror. It'll give you 7 years of bad luck. So that's why I got this one right here to give a visual representation of some bad luck. Because mostly I wanted to try and focus on the good luck for the most part, but I still wanted to go ahead and mention some bad luck, like black cats, for example, can be bad luck. Let's go see black cats, bad luck. I don't know why though. Like, why all the hate for black cats? Like everyone always wants to talk about black cats being bad luck if they cross your path, but why? Why black cats in particular? Why are white cats not bad luck? And actually, in Japan, white cats are often seen as good luck. I mean, I don't know if it's a thing or not, but they have these little luck statues of some sort that they always do. It's like a lucky cat statue, and it's really cool. I love these things. I'm actually getting a picture for you right now to show you all, but I know I should have prepared a little better. I know. But I'm literally thinking of this stuff as I'm, going over this with you all together. I'm actually thinking of this stuff in real time, and I'm like, "Oh, that is actually really sweet and kind of awesome." So I would like to share that with people as well. So that's where we are now. So let me see if I can find I downloaded the picture, so I'm going to go to that one in particular real quick so I can show you that. Yes, I know I have lots of pictures here, but don't worry, they're all copyright free. So, you always got that to help you out, you know? So where is it? I kind of missed it. Where Okay, it's further back. Okay, I messed up. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. There. Here we go. This is the cat I wanted to show you. I love this cat. It's a lucky white cat. I don't really know much about it, but I've seen it often in Japan, and I actually kind of wonder if it isn't like looking at it together with you all and thinking about it in real time. I kind of wonder if the cat is maybe supposed to be like a Japanese representation of Ebisu in cat form, like cat Ebisu, because it is often depicted with this large fish right here. So I wonder if it might be like a cat version of Ebisu. Now, let's go back to the beginning. All right. Now, before we go any further with the images, I'd like to get back to the story for a moment. So let's find a good image. Let's see. Ooh, I know which one I want to show. Okay, there's one image I'm going to rest on real quick. So let's go through here. Let's find a good one. And I'll go through these later. But this one right here, let me zoom in a little. There we go. This is a cartoonish animation, like a cartoonish picture of all 7 gods of luck in Japanese culture. So I'm going to leave this up on the screen for a second, show you, and you know what, let's go ahead and go through some more pictures real quick. So I wanted to show you some of these. This one is supposed to be Fukurokuju. Just going to go through a few of these. And then that one, as you can see, let me zoom in a little bit for you. See him standing on the crates right there with his little hammer. So I think that is supposed to be Daikoku on this one. All right. And then what else have we got? Okay, we're at the end. Okay. And then this one is, that might be Saraswati or Benzaiten. I'm not honestly sure. But I like the little fish underneath with the extra arms and all that. It's a nice little visual. Now this one is definitely Bishamonten, the warrior protector. So I thought this was a really nice statue. And I got a couple of different ones. Yeah, this one's really nice, like classic Japanese architecture right there in the background. You can see the big pillars, and they put it on its own little stand, and look at how big it is. Like, I think it's very obvious how much they respect this thing. Oh, here's a really good one. Here's a really good one. I like this one. I found this. This is an image of, what was it? Takarabune, the boat that the 7 gods of and goddesses of luck typically are said to travel on. So I thought that was a really cool picture. We'll get back to some of these in a minute, okay? Don't worry. Then here's another little statue of Daikoku, which I thought was really cool. And look, he's got a little rat on his mallet down there. We'll get back to some of these in a minute, don't worry. And then we have another one of Bishamonten right here. It looks like he might be, doing like a salute to somebody in this one. Might be clay or stone, possibly. Here's another statue of Jorojin, the god of longevity, with a staff. I like that. You can see some other little stuff back here, some other little statues. And then this one is Fukurokuju, the god of wisdom. And I liked it. I like the way they did the little head there, And then here is another one of Fukurokuju. This is Benzaiten, the goddess of love, music, and happiness with 8 arms. Right here. Here is another one of Ebisu working on his little fish. This one I really enjoyed because he's got his fan, a little fish. Even the fish seems to be smiling right here, you see? And then he's got his big smile. He seems really happy about something, and I like that. And then here is another one of Daikoku, like a classic Japanese tapestry. So I thought that was pretty cool. We'll get back to this one in a minute. This was another one I wanted to show you for, like bad luck, like if you break a mirror, kind of give you a visual of a broken mirror. because you're supposed to get 7 years of bad luck, supposedly. This one is another one of, I don't remember which god that is supposed to be, but I thought it was a nice little Japanese tapestry. So, um, you know, we can say it's Fukurokuju because he's the god of longevity, and that's an older gentleman right there. So we'll just say it's Fukurokuju. And then here we have him on his horse, or a mule rather, not a horse, more of a mule. And I believe that one is supposed to be Jyorojin, perhaps. All right, let's see who else we have. Black cat, because black cats are supposed to be unlucky. Supposedly, if they cross your path, you're not allowed to go through the same path, or you will also be unlucky. And this one was pretty nice. On the left is Daikoku, and on the right is Ebisu. And it said that these were some New Year's decorations in Japan. So that was pretty cool. I thought these were, very sorry. But I thought these were very pretty. So I wanted to share these with you. Another image of a broken mirror, you know. So you can, that one definitely looks like bad luck. You don't want to go through that. Look at all that broken glass. That man is definitely going to cut his feet if he tries to walk through that mirror. Definitely bad luck. Here is a larger statue of Bishamonten, which I really, really enjoyed. This one looks like it's in a museum, and it's on a wood platform down here. Looks really, really nice. And he's got his staff. Definitely looks like a warrior. He looks like he's ready to go to war. Then here we have another one of Benzaiten, the goddess of love, music, and happiness. And then here is another one of Fodorokuju with a deer. We'll get to that one in a minute. Another one of a black cat. And now we have gone through the images. Okay, now back to our notes. So I'm going to keep sharing the screen for a minute, but I'm going to change the image over here. All right, and we'll just do a little thing. Now let's continue. Now, I'd like to go over a few superstitions on the bad or negative side of luck. So let's pull up a good image. I like the one with the big broken mirror over here. So let's have this one up while we talk about this. So first off, you drink? I feel like a lot of people do. Personally, I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. But you know what I wouldn't do? I wouldn't drink water in Germany. Because apparently they say don't toast a German with a glass of water, even if you prefer not to drink alcohol, as this implies you want them dead. So the next time you got a problem with somebody, just look them dead in their eyes and drink a glass of water. Let them know your intentions. They say that if you walk backwards in Portugal, it lets the devil know where you are and where you're going. In the Philippines and South America, they say not to let your purse touch the ground as it will lead to bad financial luck. And I don't really understand the origins of that one necessarily, but I can vouch that it is something they say in South America. I've heard it many times myself. In South Korea, they believe that if you fall asleep with the fan on, it could potentially cause hypothermia. Wait a minute. I guess I might be South Korean. I believe that. I mean, it's a fan. It's on you all night. It could make you very cold if, I don't know. It sounds logical to me. In Russia, it's considered good luck to place empty bottles on the ground, while women who sit on the ground are thought to render themselves infertile. Not sure the origins of this one, but they also say don't give anyone a yellow flower there. But the video I was watching didn't really say why you don't give anyone a yellow flower. So if anyone knows about that one, we would love to hear some more about that. If you know why you're not supposed to give people a yellow flower, we'd love to hear about that. In Turkey, they say you shouldn't chew gum after night because, according to local legend, it turns into the flesh of the dead. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard that right. Cannibalistic gum chewers in Turkey. Dang, they gotta be eating all that flesh at night. Yeah, I don't understand that one. It's quite entertaining, though. Now, in India, they believe that trimming your nails after dark or getting a haircut on Saturday will reduce your life expectancy by 7 months. Now, on a personal note, like a side note, I've also heard that in Japan, they tell urban legends and horror stories about being attacked by spirits and monsters if you trim your nails after dark in Japan. But I think this to be less about bad luck and more just a superstition they have created to keep the house more clean and less messy from fingernail clippings. Because from what I've heard, a lot of younger people in Japan will just like clip their fingernails and leave them on the ground, and then their family members will step on them and it hurts. And they say it's like too loud because if you do it at night, it'll like disturb the family members. But I've never been to Japan, unfortunately. So I'm just going based on what I've heard from, you know, I guess it would be stereotypes. But I did hear the story in a podcast that was hosted by a Japanese person. So I don't really know what to believe about that, to be honest with you. And of course, we have the classic unlucky 13, which I feel most of us already know about here in the West, while the number 4 is considered to be unlucky within Asia because it is incredibly similar to the Chinese pronunciation of death. Yeah, okay, so I can understand that. And last but not least, they say that if a woman eats goat meat, she will grow facial hair. So any women out there, definitely don't eat any goat meat when you go to Rwanda. All right. Now, let's go back to this pot of gold again. Ooh, this will be a good one. I like this one. Look, little Lego pieces with this little Lego pot of gold and the little Irishman with his cup. I love it. Beautiful. So, have you ever heard about the luck of the Irish? Has anyone ever heard of that? Is that a thing? They always say, luck of the Irish. Oh, you must have the luck of the Irish. All that. Yeah, it's not quite what you think it is. It's kind of dark. We're going to get into that now. So, in the mid 1800s in Ireland, it was under British rule, and it was already a very difficult place to live. But as bad as it was, that's when the infamous potato famine that many of us have heard about hits the area. Surprisingly enough, potatoes are not native to Ireland. I said not native to Ireland. However, they did heavily rely on this crop, and as a result, an estimated 1.5 million people died from starvation. 1.5 million people. That's a lot. So let's imagine a person living in Ireland who has already been losing friends and family consistently and just not doing too well in general. Just they haven't been doing very well. So he decides to take his family and leave the country to go somewhere else to seek a better life. In this case, we'll go with America. All right? Well, now it gets even worse because an estimated 80,000 people died on the boat ride across the Atlantic before finally arriving in America, only to find. y- Oh, wait, you thought they were going to be accepted? No, 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 no. They only found more hatred. They only found more hatred when they got to America. In Philadelphia, he could have been welcomed with an anti Irish mob or ended up starving once again because all the jobs are posting ads with the tagline, "No Irish need apply." Oh no. No, no, no. Not good. Not doing too good. Not sounding too good for the Irish, is it? But he wasn't giving up yet. He had heard there was gold in California, so he tried to make his way over there instead. Now he had two options. He could either get there by getting back on the boat, going around the tip of South America, or by going on a jungle hike with canoes and mules through Panama. Oh, did I say two? He had one final option. He could, he could try and walk through the entire continental US, which included nothing but deadly deserts. Suffice it to say, he didn't have very many options, and the few he had were not very good. Like, just thinking about this theoretical dude, man, this Irish dude has gone through some unimaginable torture and hardships at this point. But it also just goes to show how stubbornly determined he is to survive despite everything that's been happening. And this is exactly why the Irish were more likely to find gold in California at the time, because they simply tried harder. After everything they'd been through and everything they'd suffered from, they simply had far more drive and persistence than most others who were already living in California at the time. Other immigrants to America had a similar work ethic to the Irish, so the Irish weren't as special in actual gold finding ability as we may be thinking. It's more about the timing of the potato famine, and so many Irish people had immigrated to America that they were simply the most visible group of people because so many were immigrating all at once. So people who weren't as successful at finding gold started to resent the Irish and think they were just lucky, which led them to the term luck of the Irish, which was used pejoratively or as a way to insult them. It was not used in a nice way, it was used as an insult. Edward T. O'Donnell was quoted as saying, "It carried with it a certain tone of derision, as if to say, only by sheer luck, as opposed to brains, could these fools succeed." And this is where the term luck of the Irish found its origins. So basically, if you've ever worked really, really hard to achieve something and people downplayed your hard work and effort just to say you got lucky, well, then you would likely know what it feels like to have the luck of the Irish. Yes, I did get a little have a little fun with the accent there at the end. I'm not even gonna deny it. Yeah, I had a little fun with the accent. So now we're gonna go through those images that we didn't go through earlier. So here is a pot of gold at the other end of the rainbow. And now we understand a bit more about the leprechauns having a pot of gold and hoarding it at the end of their rainbow, because I believe the rainbow was supposed to represent all the hardships of their journey. And I think the pot of gold is supposed to represent the wealth and health that they found by making it through all these hardships and being able to survive. And there were a few more. That was the one. I like that one. We already talked about that one. I think there were a few more. There you go. There's a little leprechaun with his pot of gold that he worked so hard for. It wasn't luck. He worked hard for that gold. Although I still, even in my research, I did not actually, well, I wasn't researching leprechauns in particular, so I didn't get into that. That could be one we could do for a future episode. That's a good idea for a future episode, actually. Um, so anyways, here's a leprechaun, and I didn't get into that, so I don't know how the whole leprechaun thing started, but I talking about it now, I think that would be a good idea for a future episode. You know what? We might do that next week. Look into the leprechauns, see where they came from, the whole story with that, because I am kind of curious, like why they have the belt buckles and why they have belt buckles on their shoes and their hat. Like, why are there so many belt buckles on a leprechaun? Why? Is it a sign of wealth? Are belt buckles supposed to be expensive? And then let's see, I think I got a couple more. And then I was just looking for some random pictures of, I got a couple of pictures of leprechauns because I thought, even though that's not necessarily what we were looking for here, I thought the pots of gold that they hoard would be a good visualization of them trying to find gold in California. So here's a leprechaun with his little pot of gold that he found during the gold rush in California. And this one, I think, is supposed to be like Leprechaun the movie. There's a series, a horror movie series called Leprechaun, and I think this might be kind of like that. Because look, he's got his goals, sure, but look at that face. He's definitely looks evil, and he's sitting on a pile of skulls. And then here's just your typical pot of gold, and we'll end it with this one right here, Leprechaun protecting his hoard of gold as well, because he worked really hard for that, so he's not going to let anyone take that away from him. And I did go a little bit over this time, but I hope that's okay with everyone. We went 35 minutes, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling you about it, because I had fun with this episode. I thought this was some really good information, and I especially enjoyed learning about the luck of the Irish. So I think, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think, because basically what I wanted to do was, do 4 episodes for one culture. I started off with Japan because I'm biased. That's my favorite, okay? It was my favorite culture, so I wanted to start there. And then I wanted to do 4 episodes of one culture, and then the 5th episode, this one, I wanted to do a bit more worldwide, like, get around to cultures from here, cultures from there, cultures from around the world. Oh, kinda like oddities from around the world. Yeah. So I wanted to get a little more worldwide with the 5th episode, and then we'll switch it up and go to a different culture for the next 4 episodes, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then episode 10, we'll bring it back to a more like worldwide topic that affects everyone across the globe. And that's kind of how, and then we'll switch it up to another culture from there. And I think that's kind of how we'll keep doing it. I think that seems like a good way to get a good mix of culture and, like do a little bit of a deep dive into this culture, that culture, without focusing entirely solely on one particular culture and getting a good mix. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you all for hanging out. I had fun, and I will see you on next Thursday at 10, 9 Central for the next episode of This Uncanny Earth. And then after that, I will be back next Saturday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I think next week we will definitely, next week, on my episode, will be talking about leprechauns, and we'll get started on some Irish culture. All right. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Stay uncanny.